Rules here. All right, let's try to keep it down while the comedians are up here. They're here to entertain you. They're here out of the love of their hearts. Okay? So keep it down if you can. All right? So we're about to start this thing off right. All right, our first comic to the stand is Vinnie. Let's give him a big round of applause, everybody.
Well, that was quite an introduction. I can't thank you enough. My name is Vinnie.
Hi, Vinnie!
Yeah, so he gets it. That's the part where we all say, hi, Vinnie. Thank you. Now that you all know who I am, I'd like to know who each and every one of you is. So what I'd like you all to do right now is shout out your own name.
Steve!
All right, whoever said your own name, you're one of the wise guys. I know it's not exactly professional comedy to have your set list up with you, but I'm a musician, and I can't work without a set list because it makes me be able to think. You know, we lost a comedy legend on Friday. I don't know how many of you, Joan Rivers died. And in related news, there's been a spike in unemployment among plastic surgeons. In honor of Joan Rivers, I'd like to do my impression of Joan Rivers right now. Okay? Just give me 1 second to get ready. I don't know what you're thinking. She was cremated, but there's no smoking in here, so. Hey, I'm writing a new joke, and I'd like to try out what I have so far on you guys if you'd like to hear it. Bring it. Somebody bring it? Okay, here we go. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here we go. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I'm still working on that one. So most of the comedians you're going to see up here, and most of the professional comedians you've heard, they have something they write into their jokes called laugh breaks. It's a place where they'll stop for people to laugh. I write in bomb breaks into my jokes. It's a lot like a laugh break, except it's a lot quieter. You've seen these really skinny hipster guys riding on their single-speed bikes. I don't have anything against them, but I could never be a hipster. Because, I mean, look at me. Does it look like I fit into my girlfriend's pencil pants? But I'm a middle child, too. I'm a middle child, the birth order silver medalist. I didn't win. I didn't just make it, and I'm happy about that. I'm just sort of there. And a lot of people who know me probably suspected this anyway, so this seems like a really nice crowd, and I'd like to come out right now in front of you all. I'm bulimic. But like so many other things in my life as a middle child, it's just one more of those things I'm not good at. And neither is grammar. I met a girl just recently. She, this poor thing, she only considered herself a 6.5 in beauty out of a scale of 1 to 10. So being the nice guy that I am, I thought it'd make her day and let her know that, honey, you're a 10 in any trailer park. And I'd like to have my own trailer park, but it wouldn't just be a trailer park. It would be in the Midwest, there'd be an underground bunker funeral home, and a cemetery on the premises. That way, when that big tornado hit, that epic tornado, instant customers. I would name it what every trailer park in the country should be named. Wrath of God, Eternal Estates. I like sleeping in.
Give it a second.
other people's beds. They always seem so surprised to find me there, too. Stop screaming, man. Try to sleep in. They just don't get it. There's a lot of jobs in the world that one could have, and I'm glad there's one that I don't have. I'm glad I don't work at a nail salon as the toe jam picker. Got any drinkers here?
Yeah.
Anybody at all? Anybody? Yeah, see, that's great. I really admire you guys because alcohol, I can't drink. It does terrible things to my body. It causes me to black out. And I really like being white. It's an easier life, you know? But not because of the reason you think. It's because whenever I black out, I don't turn into somebody cool like Snoop Dogg. I turn into Urkel. And I spend the rest of the time getting sober like this. Pointing at people's sorry lives going, did I do that? So I can't drink anymore. I saw a bumper sticker on some hippie's car the other day, proclaiming in its preachy, flowery way, imagine peace. And I'm thinking, you know, right now there's a terrorist riding around in some third world rat hole with a bumper sticker on his car that says, imagine pieces. Now, I don't get terrorism because I'm just not angry enough at Christians or Jews to blow them up. I mean, the most I would do is drop a water balloon on Joel Osteen from like the 12th floor.
Yeah.
Maybe tickle a rabbi's beard. But I couldn't deal with Islam either because I would never marry a woman I couldn't see because this doesn't work for me. You think you're marrying Brooke Shields and you end up being married to Mel Brooks. You know, poor President Barack Hussein Obama, you know, he has to deal with all of these horrible terrorists all over the world while simultaneously trying to make par. I mean, that'd take a man of steel, wouldn't it? Too bad we don't have one. I went to the Oxymoron store yesterday. The Oxymoron store. I went there because I wanted to get Rosetta Stone's language learning in mute. On my way through the parking lot of the Oxymoron store, I noticed they had smart cars for sale. Then as I walked up to the front door, I saw the Segways, those little scooters you ride on. And these Segways constantly took you on detours on the way to your destination. So I went in and I found my Rosetta Stone pack. Right next to it, this great book by Amelia Earhart. I think it was called Live to Fly Another Day. Then there was another book called Truth and Beauty, My Journey, by Hillary Clinton. My favorite was Kosher Bacon Recipes and Books on Tape for the Deaf. It's a delayed reaction. So I got my Rosetta Stone and I'm walking past the pet department and there they had dogs that only wanted to be woman's best friend. And up at the counter they had a package of lead pens, some dry erase Sharpies, and pregnancy tests for gay men. So I was really tired from shopping, so I bought myself a 6-pack of O'Doul's and went home to get drunk. I turned on the TV and there the president was announcing his new Department of Political Truth. So I went to bed and laid awake until the alarm clock went off and fell asleep. It was quite a day. Quite a good day. So I don't know if you can tell from looking at me, I'm not just a comedian. I'm also a Jew. Yeah. You can't tell, I don't have the Jew fro, right? I have a haircut I stole from Charlie's Angels. It's glorious though, isn't it? Look at that. Don't you wish you had that? Isn't that wonderful? But it's not easy being a Jew when you don't get recognized by your people. And I'll give you an example. This just happened last week. I went into a Jewish bakery and asked for a baker's dozen. And they gave me 11. Should have been 18. And I'm the world's poorest Jew too. You know, a lot of my Jewish friends, they drive around in Acura luxury cars. They went to Ivy League schools and Israel for their bar mitzvah. I drive an Acura. It's 20 years old. It's beat up. The exhaust system's falling off. I got a master's degree in law and homeland security from a state school. And there was no Israel trip for Vinnie on his bar mitzvah. My parents got me a pack of cigarettes and a bottle of Manischewitz. Okay, he knows what a cheap $5 Bible wine sounds like. All right. But you know, it wasn't a bad life. I mean, I'm Italian and I'm Jewish, and I grew up in a nice, wonderful Italian-Jewish neighborhood in an Italian-Jewish house. And every Sunday, you could have, they had a smell of spaghetti and matzo balls all up and down the block. It was glorious. But this neighborhood was run by the Jewish mafia. These guys ran this place with an iron fist. Now you've seen the Jewish mafia. They're the guys who walk around with the black hats, the long overcoats, and the ZZ Top beards. And if you were a Gentile with a shop in our neighborhood, you had to pay protection money, but they gave you 10% off. If you had a contract put out on you, they wouldn't kill you. They'd kidnap you, take you somewhere, tie you to a chair, and have a Jewish mother make you feel guilty for about 5 hours. Young man, you know what you did. And if you crossed one of them up, and they wanted to let you know they could get to you anywhere. It wasn't like in The Godfather, where you got a horse head to put in your bed. You'd find a ham in your kosher kitchen. And of course, you know, being the mafia, the Jewish mafia, they drove around in big black Cadillacs, except on Saturday. Okay, one Jew laughed. You're a secret he knew. He knew you don't drive on a Saturday. Okay, yeah, I don't know if you have to explain it, right? These guys were so tough, this Jewish mafia, that God paid them protection money without the discount. So I had a dog. I mentioned the world's poorest Jew. I also lived next to a junkyard. And my dog died last week. I'm really sad about my dog. He got into the junkyard, he drank a bunch of engine coolant. You know, it like cools and preserves your engine, which is really nice, but now my dog is dead. But I'm a big believer in recycling. So what I did is I took the dog and put him in the back of my car. That way, when I'm driving down one of these Florida highways on a hot day, if my engine overheats, I can just throw him under the hood. I'm just kidding, I didn't do that to my dog. It was my cat.
There you go.
How much time do I have left? All right, just a couple more things to let you know. This is an international thing. In the United States, we say you are what you eat. But in New Guinea, they say you are who you eat. Okay, we got one cannibal in the crowd. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to leave you guys with one more thought. This is for the men in the crowd, and I know you're listening. And I'm going to give you a piece of advice from Vinnie to you. Because I saw this Facebook ad that said, "Men, do you struggle with women?" I'm like, I'm Vinnie. Does it look like I struggle with women? That will give you guys one way to never struggle with a woman again. Chloroform. Thank you all for listening. Have a